Hello, listeners, and welcome to another episode of the program Empowering the Next Generation for Future Innovation. This is the fifth episode in the series, and it's airing on your favorite online radio, Hammergate Radio Communications. I remain your host and friend, Adeola Gbadebo. In the past four episodes, we've been talking about the traits, attitudes, the skills, and other competencies displayed by people that we called leadership-ready generation. And we've been stressing on the need for deliberately empowering the next generation to take over from the current one. We've spoken about those competencies that we can notice that will be able to help us to discover these young people who are ready to take on those leadership roles, and how we can develop them, how we can also help those and eventually deploy them to take on greater roles within the organization and in the society at large. We've discussed about the importance of allowing the young people to begin to take on the leadership roles, to take on more compelling roles, more important roles within the society, and allowing them to use their imaginative and innovative minds to create new solutions to some of our problems. Now, today, the youth of today, so we are saying that the youth of today, they hold the key to the future. Now, so because their unique perspective, their skills and passions for innovation makes them a powerful force for driving change in our rapidly evolving world. I keep saying the world is rapidly evolving because the way the world is changing, things are moving very quickly. However, too often, the untapped potentials go unrecognized and their ideas and solutions go unheard. Now, in the African setting, we grew up in a culture that drowns the voice of young people. It's a culture that does not allow the younger ones to hear their views on issues. So most times what you find out is that when the adults gather, they often exclude the younger ones because they say they want to discuss serious issues, and they ask the younger ones to leave. Now, as the younger ones, as they leave, we fail to understand that the need for transfer of knowledge and wisdom and the traditional problem-solving skills, that these things keep eroding. They keep eroding, and also our traditional values have now been completely eroded. Now, I cannot understand when the culture crept in, because initially, what we know was that there's a Yoruba adage that says, meaning that the traditional practice that excludes the young will disappear gradually. And this is the reason why our focus today is on transgenerational leadership. So what is transgenerational leadership? It's simple, it's just a concept that focuses on leadership practices and strategies that are passed down from one generation to another. This ensures the sustainability and continuity of organizations and societies. Now, it involves the transfer of knowledge, values, and skills from the older generation to the younger ones, creating a seamless transition of leadership and fostering long-term success. So what we're talking about essentially is that there is a need for transgenerational leadership, and this is there are values and skills and some competencies that the older generation have been used, are passed down to the younger ones. And these younger ones, what they now do is, with the skills that they already have and the ones that are passed down onto them, they can mix them together and produce better results. It can produce better results. Now, so And some of the key benefits of transgenerational leadership is the preservation of organizational and societal culture and values. Organizational culture is very important in creating transgenerational organizations. These are organizations that have moved from the first generation where we have the founders to the next and second or third generation. And the way they'll be able to keep those values, those beliefs, the ethics that keep them together and allow the organization to run properly is when that is completely entrenched in their organizational culture. And organizational culture is deliberately built. So what we see is that the transgenerational leadership allows for the transfer and sustaining those cultures and beliefs. So as leaders pass down their knowledge and experiences to the next generation, they also transmit the core values and beliefs that have contributed to the success of the organization or society. As those leaders begin to pass on those core values, those beliefs, that contributed to the success of that organization, that is what helps. There's a transmission of those values and beliefs. Now, so what that means is that as the organization has been successful, these are the things that have kept their heads high and why they have been successful still. Now, because you want to sustain that success and you want to sustain it to go through more generations, there is a need for that deliberate transfer of those beliefs. Now, and the transfer of those beliefs is not just a roundtable discussion. There are practices, there are beliefs and values and processes that have been put into systems so that these systems now continue to drive these beliefs and culture. This creates a sense of continuity and provides a strong foundation for future leaders to build upon. It's something that every organization must consider. Another important aspect of transitional leadership is the transfer of the skills and expertise. Skills and expertise. As HR practitioners, we normally say that 80 to 85% of the expertise of an organization and the skills that help the organization to run profitably, efficiently, and effectively is in the heads of the leaders of this organization, people who have been there. And there is a need for knowledge transfer. It's in their head. So the expertise is there. So seasoned leaders, they have years of experience and insight that can significantly benefit the younger generation. Therefore, by sharing their knowledge, they can help develop the skills and capabilities of future leaders, ensuring that they are well prepared to tackle the challenges of the future. This transfer of skills actually helps to maintain the quality and effectiveness of leadership across generations. A team of consultants and I once investigated the culture of one of the top organizations in Nigeria. And while we were conducting our investigation and trying to help them to some of those cultures, we discovered that there are some practices that they have that they have continued to practice over the years, and it has become a culture. Now, this practice helps the new people who just come into the organization. It helps them to quickly settle into that organization. So one of the things that they do is that when they have new people in the organization, there'll be a time in the year. I think they normally have it in the second quarter of the year. So they call it their own. It's like an annual general meeting, but it's for staff and management, where it's a dinner where everybody mixes together and all that, and they invite the people who have just joined the organization to they sit around with the top leaders of the organization, and they begin to talk together. They make them feel relaxed, and it looks like something that is quite insignificant, but some of those things have helped to create a system that helps them to collaborate. And we found out that in that organization, one of their top culture is that they are highly collaborative in nature. So they have created a system that allows new entrants who come into the organization to gain insight into how the organization is running. What they also do is that while those people come in, for the first 1 or 2 months, they are just observing. They are attached to other people, and these practices help them to be able to imbibe the culture of this new organization, because they may be coming from a different place, and they have to drop the ideas and all that they have in that place so that they can imbibe the new ones in this new organization. And this has been how this organization has been sustaining their culture. So transgenerational leadership is a deliberate attempt at transferring the knowledge, the expertise, the cultural beliefs of an organization to the next generation, so that they can not only continue to practice it, but they can also build on it. Now, transformational leadership also promotes innovation and adaptation. I just said that apart from that, they want the new generation to continue that culture. They want them to review. They want them to build on it, to make it better, to improve on it. And there comes in the use. That's why where innovation and adaptation come in. As new leaders come into the positions of authority, they bring their own fresh perspectives and ideas. So, however, they can also learn from the experiences and wisdom of older leaders. Now, this exchange of ideas allows for the integration of past success with new approaches. This leads to innovative solutions and strategies that are vital for the sustainability of organizations and societies. New leaders are coming into new positions. They're coming into new positions of authority. They have some of the things they have learned while climbing the ladder, and the experience of older leaders, the ones who are now leaving. They spend time together so that those values can be transferred onto them. So they can learn from the older ones while bringing their own new ideas and new perspectives to shape the culture. So yes, even though there's the organizational culture, but it's not static. It is constantly being worked upon, being improved upon, and it is getting better on a daily basis. And it is not, and if you check from the original, it is not really a deviation. They have not deviated from the original culture, the values and beliefs of that organization. It's not a deviation, it's just an improvement on those things. Now, so the transfer and innovation, in addition to the knowledge and transfer and innovation, transitional leadership promotes inclusivity and diversity. You are including people who used to be outside decision making. You are now bringing them into decision making corridors, and then you are also allowing them to use their own perspectives, which brings in the diversity that I just talked about. Now, nurturing and empowering the next generation of leaders, we can see, build a strong, resilient future for organizations and societies. Transgenerational leadership plays a crucial role in the sustainability of our societies. It ensures that It ensures the preservation of culture and values. It facilitates the transfer of skills and knowledge. It fosters innovation and promotes inclusivity and diversity. The untapped potentials within today's youth are vast and diverse. By recognizing and harnessing these potentials, we can unlock a wave of innovation that will revolutionize our world. Now, to achieve this, we need to create opportunities for youth participation and engagement. We need to allow them to hear their views. If you go to a meeting or a team meeting and people are unable to make their own contribution, and only a set of people who are the leaders are the ones, it's just like you are passing down instructions to people. So anytime that you attend, they will go there with their brains locked up. They will have locked the brains, take their books, and they are only coming to take orders from you. However, if you deliberately allow them to contribute and you make it open, and even a foolish contribution is not really is not thrown away, or the person is not is not embarrassed, because when you embarrass someone who makes a contribution, that person is not likely to make another contribution anytime. Like I'll always say, out of nonsense there is sense. Take the none away and make use of the sense that is available. So we need to create opportunities for youth participation and engagement. We also need to provide mentorship and guidance, and invest in education and skill development to foster a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship, and amplify youth voices and stories. That is why we need to kill that culture that tries to drown the voice of the youth. We must deliberately allow the younger people to make their own contribution. We must deliberately allow them to voice their own ideas, their own views about what they think about even some major decisions within the organization. We must deliberately include them, which is the inclusivity that I've spoken about earlier. We must deliberately include them, because by working together, we can ensure that the youth of today have the platform they deserve to shape a future that is inclusive, sustainable, and prosperous for all. Investing in the deliberate discovery, development, and deployment of future leaders is crucial for empowering innovation and ensuring sustained progress in all spheres of society. We need to deliberately invest in the discovery, in the development, and the deployment of young people, young talents that can be groomed into greater leadership. Future leaders are the architects of tomorrow's innovations. The future is about them, and they are adequately being prepared for the future. Like I said earlier in an earlier episode, that you cannot prepare the future for the youth. What you can do is to prepare the youth for the future. And therefore, we can, by identifying and nurturing individuals with the potential to lead, what we are doing is to ensure a continuous influx of fresh perspectives, novel ideas, and creative solutions to tackle emerging challenges and seize new opportunities. If you have just joined us, we are still talking about empowering the next generation for future innovations, and it's still on your favorite online radio, Amogate Radio Communications. And we've been talking about transgenerational leadership, which is a deliberate attempt that focuses on leadership practices and strategies that are passed down from one generation to another. And we have said that during that transfer, a lot of key core values, beliefs, skills, and expertise and problem-solving skills are also passed down to this generation. And we're saying that this transfer of knowledge and expertise and the culture and beliefs is what brings sustainability to organizations and our societies. The pace of change in today's world is unprecedented. Future leaders must possess the agility and resilience to navigate through uncertainty and adapt to evolving circumstances. This is the reason why we must invest in their development and equip them with necessary skills and mindset to thrive in a dynamic environment, fostering a culture of innovation and progress. We must allow them to understand the world as a global village where anything in a particular place can affect what is going on around the whole world. Talk about global competitiveness in an increasingly interconnected and competitive global landscape. Nations, organizations, and communities must stay ahead of the curve to maintain their relevance and competitiveness. To be able to stay ahead of the curve, we must include young people who will bring innovative ideas, new and fresh perspectives. So future leaders with their visionary thinking and strategic acumen play a vital role in driving growth. Now, this fosters collaboration and the shaping of the future trajectory of the prospective entities on the global stage. Cultivating a legacy of leadership excellence. When we invest in the future leaders, it's an investment in the long-term sustainability and success of organizations and societies. By instilling a culture of leadership excellence and mentorship, we create a pipeline of talent that can perpetuate the cycle of discovery, where it helps us to, there's no death of leadership. There is always someone to be able to take over because we've been grooming them, and there won't be any gap in leadership. There's no lacuna. At every point in time, we are grooming and continue to groom people who can take on new roles and step up in leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to stop and bring the discussion today to a close here. In the next episode, we will conclude on transgenerational leadership. So for feedback and questions, you can send us a mail on contact@thearmorgate.org. You can reach out to us on our WhatsApp number +234 810 999 6666 +234 810 999 6666. To listen to previous episodes, check on our show reel on MixLR-Armorgate. I also invite you to join us on our social media handles on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook at Armorgate. Thoughtful investment in both organizational and personal growth yields numerous advantages. By prioritizing youth, growth, and development, individuals and organizations can unlock their full potentials and achieve sustainable success. This program airs every Thursday, 5 p.m. West African time and 11 a.m. Eastern time. Join me same time next week. And from me, it's goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your week.